landscape. A landscape is a picture that has both sky and land, but the main focus of the picture is the land and the items on the land. So today we're going to be drawing and starting a landscape on a farm. So all you're going to need to start with is a pencil, and later on we will use crayons and maybe markers. All right, let's get started. To start, you will need a piece of paper and a pencil. And we're just going to do the pencil work today. The next art activity, I will show you how to add color with lines and other patterns. First decision you have to make today is whether you want your landscape to be vertical, which means your paper is standing the tall way, or horizontal. Either way will work. It's just a matter of what you like to do. So I'm going to take my pencil, and the first thing I'm going to do are draw some hills. And if you're looking for a good place, a good artist to look up for information on landscapes, you might want to look up Grant Wood. He has some wonderful landscapes, farm landscapes of Iowa. All right, so I'm going to start by making some hills. I start kind of in the middle, on the side of the middle of my paper, and I'm going to draw a line. And it's curved because it bends and it goes all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make a curve here. But I will stop, instead of going all the way to the bottom, I will stop when I get to this. That means that this hill is in front of this hill. This hill is being overlapped by this hill. The thing that is in front, you can see all of it, and the thing that is behind, we can only see part of it because of the other thing in front. So you don't want to go all the way through the bottom because it won't look right to your eye. All right, I'm going to add a couple more hills. And you'll notice as the hills go back into my picture that they look smaller. I'm going to add one this way and maybe one more hill here. You can decide how many hills you want to do, but make sure that you leave some room for the sky. Okay? We're going to create something called depth. It's going to make it look like things will go back into space into our picture, even though this is actually a flat piece of paper. And we're going to start by making a barn for our farm. And the barn is going to be in the background. The background is the place in the picture that is on the land that is farthest away. So it's in the back of the picture. So I'm going to choose a hill, and I am going to draw a box to start with on top of this hill. And then I'm going to draw a roof. You can do a triangle roof. You could do a curved roof. I am going to do something called a trapezoid. A trapezoid is a four-sided shape, and it's angled in on the sides. I'm going to make this barn look like it goes back into space too, that it has a little depth. So what I'm going to do is draw the side. Start right here on the top of your box. Just do this only on one side. And I'm going to draw a diagonal, just slightly diagonal line down. And because this line is vertical, the side of the box was vertical, this side will match it. Now I will do the same thing. I'm going to draw the same kind of diagonal line here from the top of my barn roof. And it looks like it's actually smaller than the one down here. But if you were to measure it, it would be really close to the same. What we want to do is create the same angle that I had on my roof that I have here. So they match. Okay? Now you can put a door on. The interesting thing about the background is you don't see all of the details. You're only going to see a few of the big things in the background. A barn is very big, so you can see it. Now I think I will draw a silo. A silo is tall, so we need two parallel lines that are vertical. And I'm going to draw a little tiny bit of a curve right here, and then a curve on top of that. If you would like to add other details back here by your barn, you can, but remember, only really big things are going to be seen this far away in the background. All right, I think because fall is arriving, it would be nice to have some pumpkins in our picture. The season, it is that season, and you're starting to see things for harvest, and a pumpkin is a good symbol for that. So because it's so far away in the background, I'm going to draw a tiny little pumpkin, okay? And you can draw more than one. Maybe you'd like some over here. Maybe I will also put some trees in my background. Now I'm going to keep my drawing very simple, stylize my trees. You can have lots of trees back here on top of the hills if you'd like. You can even have some of your trees overlapping each other if you want to have this part of this tree is behind that one. Maybe I need some trees over here as well. Remember, these trees, even if they were really big, will be small because they are far away. This happens in real life too. Next time you're out in the country, you might want to take a look at that. All right, I think I've got enough trees. Now, back to the pumpkins. I don't want this to be the only pumpkin. I also would like to have some pumpkins a little bit closer to me where I can see them. So I'm going to create some pumpkins in the middle ground. So I might put one, now because it's a little bit closer, I can draw it a little bigger. Maybe this one will just be a little bit taller. You don't want to get it too big because it's in the middle ground. The middle ground is in the middle of the land on a landscape. So the things in the middle of the ground are going to appear just a little bit bigger than they did in the background. And I'm going to do some pumpkins down here. This part down here is in the very front part of my paper. I think I'll do one way down here at the bottom of my paper. And the pumpkins are going to look very big down here. I like to add the lines in the pumpkins just to give it a little texture. You can have more than one. You can overlap the pumpkins as well. Maybe I will put one over here in the middle too. You can decide how many you want to do. Just remember that if it's in the background, it is small. If it's in the middle ground, medium size. And if it's in the foreground, you need to make it big. Okay, so the next step, I'm going to make a path going from my barn down to the bottom of the paper. Now we just learned that if things are in the background, they are smaller. And if they are in the front, they are bigger. So I will start off my road nice and small. I'm going to draw a curved line because it's on the hill and stop when I get to the next hill. Now this road would continue over this hill, and when it comes over this hill, it will get bigger. And I'm going to move it over just a tiny bit. Just jump my pencil over. Instead of lining it up perfectly, jump it over so it looks like it's moved a little bit. I'm going to jump this one over too and draw. Now if you have another hill, you might have to do this again. Keep making your road all the way till it gets down to the bottom of the paper. So make sure it gets smaller at the top and a little bigger as it gets towards the bottom. Now once you've done this, you can stop for the day and wait until next week. I will show you how to add some designs to your picture, some patterns, and some color. Make sure you save this. If you really enjoy doing this, maybe you can make landscapes that feature other areas. This is a farm. Maybe you would like to do a forest or a desert. Just remember those same three things: background, middle ground, foreground. All right, I'll see you next time, boys and girls, and have a great day.